It's Ben Zinn with nextlevelguitar.com. We're bringing you another one of our inspired by video lessons today. And today we're going to take a look at playing in the style of some great old-time blues. One of the best blues players ever. We're going to take a look at some of his key licks and kind of dive right in, check out some bluesy ideas. Hey everyone, before we continue, make sure that you click on the text box below, the YouTube text box. We have a link there that will direct you to a free video lesson and a coinciding ebook from nextlevelguitar.com. It's not available on YouTube, so take a look at that and we'll continue on. Let's start out by talking a little bit about some finger vibrato. I think one of the things that really sets blues players off is the vibrato, finding your own voice and really concentrating in on making that sound as good as possible. So I'm going to show you a couple of things to start out today that you can do, that you can practice to help find your own voice with your vibrato and really get a nice singing quality with your blues playing. What I like to do, I'm up here at the 5th fret on my 3rd string, and when I want to vibrato a note, I try to shake my whole hand when I'm playing in a blues style. So what I'm thinking here is creating a pivot point with this resting on the bottom of the neck, holding my note, and kind of rocking back and forth at that pivot point. There's a lot of ways to make vibrato happen, and all of them are equally correct. It just all comes down to personal preference. And what I find for this blues style of playing is I get a nice tone by rocking my whole hand back and forth. Takes some getting used to, but what I recommend is that you kind of lock your finger in place and try to pivot your whole hand. Easier when I play it in context, so take a look at one of the licks that I'm going to show you. So I can try that with any finger. The idea remains the same. So even if I'm using vibrato with my middle finger, for instance, again, I'm kind of locking out my hand and using my whole, using this as a pivot point to shake my whole hand. Okay, so next let's take a look at some of the signature licks that we played in the intro, and we'll break those down for you piece by piece. First of all, we're playing an A minor pentatonic, everybody's favorite good old box here, just for a quick review. And in another position further up the neck, just a little mini position. So we'll use those two positions today. So for my first example, I'm going to be starting on the high A note, and I'm going to run down a series of 16th notes and end it with a bend. And then I silence that bend as soon as I get it up to pitch. I'm going to bend that note right there, 7th fret, 3rd string, up one whole step, but it's real quick. I'm going to silence it either with my left hand or my right hand, because I want to hear that space in the phrasing. To continue that lick, I'm going to return to the fretted note at the 5th fret and play down to the root note. That completes the phrase in the measure. We'll talk about how it goes over the bar line in a moment. And the timing of this lick starts on beat 3. A lot of times with blues phrasing, you want to be playing in between the vocals. A lot of times the singer and the guitar player are the same person, so they'll sing a line and then answer it with their guitar. So here's a good example of waiting to play your lick until maybe the sung note is completed. We're starting on beat 3. 1, 2. One, 2, 3. Okay, so to begin the next measure, we're still part of the same lick, just kind of carries over the bar line. We're vibratoing at the 5th fret. And and then we're going to walk down. You'll notice one of the things that happens here is we skip a note in the scale. Normally if I was just continuing down the scale, I would play something like this. One of the signature pieces to this style is the skipping of a note within the scale. It's one thing that this particular player does a whole lot of. So let's put that all together now. Once more. So that's a great lick that you can use as a jumping off point. Make little tweaks and changes here and there, and you're bound to come up with a whole plethora of other examples that you can draw from. Now, in the blues, obviously we're going from a 1 chord to a 4 chord, a lot of times to a 5 chord. That's our main components. We're playing in a minor blues today, so we're playing over an A minor and over a D minor. We're just taking a look at the first part of the progression. So we got to have somewhere to go to when we get to the 4 chord. Next, I'm going to show you a great lick that works over the 4 chord using some overbends. Okay, so this is a lot of fun. Bending the strings this far up gets you a really kind of eyebrow-raising sort of sound. Going to my second box that I showed earlier, I'm starting from the root note, and I'm going to play this with my ring finger because I need to really push this string up to the sky, and so I need both of those fingers in order to get that far of a bend. I'm going to start out by playing my root note 2 times, 2 quick 16th notes. Now, my C note here, my next note in the scale, this sucker is going to go 2 steps up. If you want to hear what that's supposed to sound like, just play the note that's 2 steps higher and match that with your bend as best you can. You can see you have to push up pretty darn far to get that note all the way up 2 steps, which again is why we're using reinforced bending here to help us push with that. I'm using my index finger and my middle finger to push up 2 whole steps. So I bend up 2 whole steps, and I bring that bend back down just to 1 whole step. Okay, so we have root note twice, 2 step over bend, 1 step bend, fretted note, and back to the root note. A quick 16th note resolution there. Really common to this style. Okay, so there you go. A couple of quick licks in the style of. They're a lot of fun to play. As with any of this stuff, make sure that you make it your own, modify it, toy around with it. That's what a lot of these guys did to come up with their style as it is. So by using what they played as a jumping off point, you can help to create your own voice too. So thanks again for joining us today. Once again, this is Ben Zinn for nextlevelguitar.com. Make sure you go to our website and take a look at our over 1,000 different video lessons there. We have lessons for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So head on over there and we'll see you back here next time. Thanks.